Hello to everybody. Today I'm talking about the Saturn ingress in Aries. On 25 May 2025, it depends about where you are living on this earth. Can be also 26, but this is important that it's around 25 May. And this is the first entrance, because at the same point it will return to Pisces. This first entrance will be until 1st of September 2025. Then we'll turn back to Pisces for a while until 14th of February. On 14th of February 2026, Saturn will ingress for good in Aries and will transit this sign until 13th of April 2028. It's important to know that during this period, Saturn will also have some retrograde movements. In the moment that Saturn ingress in the Aries for the first time, will form the first conjunction with Neptune, that is already in Aries. I will make a separate material about the Saturn-Neptune cycle in human history. This conjunction in Aries of these two planets is a rare event with significant implications on multiple levels. Which is the impact of this conjunction Saturn-Neptune in Aries? On personal level, it may trigger a deep reevaluation of personal beliefs and ideals. People may feel the need to reconstruct the structures of their lives, combining realism with spiritual aspirations. It's a favorable time for introspection and redefining goals. Social level. On a collective level, the conjunction can lead to changes in values and social norms. Mass movements may emerge aimed at reforms and transformations of existing structures. Additionally, initiatives may arise that combine spiritual ideals with concrete actions for the common good. On political level, historically, this conjunction have coincided with major events such as territorial reconfiguration and regime changes. In 1917, when Saturn and Neptune has been conjunct in Leo, such a conjunction was associated with the dissolution of empires and the formation of new states. The revolutions that led to the fall of communism in 1989, it was Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Capricorn, another dissolution and another renewal. In 2025, conjunction could bring significant transformations to the global political landscape, including the redefinition of alliances and the emergence to new leaders. So could be new international alliances, but unstable, popular movements demanding reforms but risking extremism, national identity crisis, especially in countries already in conflict, possible forms of spiritual revolution, new spiritual leaders, and collapse of old churches or old beliefs. But we'll see what will happen, because here also will be some transformation. Maybe it's not a total collapse, it's about transformation. If you have planets on the first 5 degrees of the cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, you will feel this transit as pressure to make mature initiatives, to build something new with responsibility. Because Saturn in Aries is ruled by Mars, because Aries is ruled by Mars, Mars becomes the driving force of Saturnian action. And now, during this ingress of Saturn in Aries, Mars is in Leo. It shows the way in which Saturn expresses its authority, constraint and restructuring. So Saturn attempts to restructure initiative, impulse, courage and fighting spirit, but it does so through the lens of dramatic, expressive, loyal and validation seeking. Mars in Leo. We can expect reform in leadership, Leo, and the way we communicate ideas. For example, educational reforms, restructuring of the press, or forms of public expression. will be a more combative social tone in the press, media, and education. Territorial or ideological fights in small communities between neighbors, regions, or even local places. Verbal expression with much fire, pride, and authority, but it can become rigid, inflexible, or selfish. It's a kind of narcissistic Mars. Beware of leaders who dramatize. Mars in Leo can be charismatic but also inflated by pride in the context of Saturn in Aries, calling for autonomy and responsible action. This Mars can predispose to vocal, theater, but authoritarian leaders, conflicts due to oversized egos, escalations in public discourse, battles of ideas and ideology, or scandals driven by pride. What can be the result of all of this? A crisis of political and moral authority, major geopolitical changes, the possible emerge of a generation of vocal, theatrical, but determined young leaders, conflicts between the old and the new in legislation, belief, and education. So Mars, as a ruler of Saturn in Aries, is the key element for understanding this phase of global transition. Mars in Leo demands courage in expression, loyalty to truth, and the reconstruction of how we communicate ideas and authority. At the same time, because we have Mars opposing Pluto in Aquarius, this Pluto in Aquarius marks the beginning of a new ideological era, where truth will be reinvented, perhaps manipulated, but with enormous potential for social regeneration. We will see leaders imposing quick rules, harsh reforms, and lightning decisions, but without considering the collective voice or the lessons of the past. Without aspects to the lunar nodes, this period brings a major risk, building on impulse, not on meaning. It's time to choose your own direction. Saturn will not guide you. Neptune will not either. If you don't write your own path, you'll become a prisoner of someone else's agenda. Stop looking for leaders. Be your own architect. Aries acts, Saturn structures. You decide whether you do it with a conscious soul or blinded by anger. Donald Trump has Mars in Leo, Pluto in Leo on the Ascendant because he has rising sign in Leo. And to not forget, also this year Uranus will ingress in Gemini. And as you know, Trump has Uranus in Gemini. So he will have Uranus return also. So he is the tool of this change. He is the channel of this change. Let's see the impact of this Saturn in Aries ingress for each rising sign. And we start with Aries rising. For those with Aries rising, Saturn's transit through this sign brings a mix of challenges and opportunities that will test your personal limits and resources. Saturn, because it's planet of responsible for discipline, structure, and responsibility, enters a pure fire zone, motivating you to redefine your goals and face the lessons of self-discipline, independence, and maturity. During this transit, you will feel greater pressure to assert your authority, especially in front of others. Saturn asks you to set clear goals and be determined in achieving them. There will be no room for fantasies or impulsive approaches. It's time to build long-term success with sustained effort. For Aries, this transit may also bring a greater need to strengthen your foundations, whether it's career, relationships, or health. Saturn will help you understand what works and what doesn't, and the adjustments will be crucial to moving forward with a solid foundation. The process of self-analysis will be more intense. Saturn encourages you to face your deepest fears related to your own power and identity. You may feel moments of insecurity, but don't let this stop you. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by these emotions, use them as a catalyst to become stronger and more confident on your path. If you had a tendency to act quickly and without much planning, Saturn asks you to take some time to think. This is a transit that can help you to take your life into your own hands and let go of childish behavior. You will learn to be more responsible, to build lasting careers and relationships. Start seeing this transit as an opportunity to build for the long term. Saturn in Aries will bring the discipline and strength of character you need to fulfill your dreams. Step confidently into this transit and let it be a catalyst for personal and professional transformation. For those with Taurus rising sign, Saturn's transit through Aries will activate the 12th house, the house of the subconscious, inner limitations, and self-discovery processes. This is a transit that will encourage you to confront your own fears, let go of old patterns, and rediscover yourself in a new light. Saturn in the 12th house brings a period when you feel the need to retreat a bit from the turmoil of the external world and focus on your inner self. It's time for isolation, but not in a negative sense. Saturn will give you the opportunity to explore the depth of your subconscious, release the burdens of the past, and learn important lessons about self-acceptance and self-control. This period may bring to the surface repressed fears or things you have ignored until now. Saturn challenges you to confront them directly, face your inner limitations, and find ways to overcome them. It's a transit that can bring emotional release, but only if you open yourself to inner transformation. Saturn in the 12th house encourages you to regain your balance through practices of inner healing or through deep meditation and reflection. It's time to free yourself from anxious, self-sabotaging behaviors that hold you back from growth. Through self-discipline and patience, this transit can help you learn to recover from any previous difficulties and build a solid foundation for rely on. Saturn on the 12th house may bring unresolved issues from the past to the surface, emotional traumas or unresolved themes related to the subconscious. It's time when it's important to face these aspects. Learn the lesson they hold and free your soul from burdens. This can be a period of deep healing. For Taurus, this transit may seem like a significant challenge, but it's actually an opportunity to deeply understand yourself and learn how to transform your greatest inner limitations into resources. Use this period to regain inner peace and rebuild yourself on a solid foundation in alignment with your true desires. Let's don't forget that in Hellenistic astrology, Saturn in the 12th house is in his preferred house. It's the joy of Saturn. For those with Gemini rising, Saturn's transit through Aries will activate your 11th house, the house of friendship, social networks, and future dreams. This is a period where Saturn will urge you to tidy up your social circle and redefine your long-term goals. It's time to let go of superficial relationships and focus on authentic and lasting connections. This Saturn will encourage you to carefully evaluate the people around you. Some relationships may go through tests and others may transform. You may discover which friendships are truly valuable and which ones are just for show. This transit will also challenge you to reassess how you collaborate with groups or organizations, setting new boundaries and responsibilities for yourself. Saturn will bring a more mature and responsible approach to your long-term projects and dreams. If until now you had vague ideas or uncertain dreams, this transit will give you the determination needed to build a solid, practical plan for your future. It's a time when you will feel the need to focus on concrete objectives and learn how perseverance means in pursuing them. Saturn will ask you to be more responsible in your collaborative relationships. This is a time when you will learn what long-term commitments mean and how to build alliances that support you in achieving your goals. If you've started projects in the past, now it's time to mature them and bring them to completion. If you are active in social media, Saturn will help you build a stronger online presence based on authentic content and sustainable relationships. You will learn how to leverage your connections and focus on building a network that supports you and brings real benefits. This transit can bring significant transformation in how you build your networks and friendships. Use it for learn what it means to be responsible toward the people around you and toward your dreams. Be ready to invest time and energy in the relationships that truly matter. For those with Cancer rising, this transit will activate your 10th house, the house of career, social status, and professional achievements. This is a period of major challenges, but also immense opportunities to build a solid path and make your mark in your career. Saturn will ask you to take responsibility for your success and focus on long-term goals. This transit will bring an intense focus on your professional achievements. If you've worked hard to get where you are now, Saturn will assess those efforts and ask you to solidify your position. It's time to demonstrate maturity, discipline, and perseverance. Saturn will challenge you to take on leadership roles and build a solid reputation that you can rely on the long term. Saturn in the 10th house is not an easy transit. You will feel pressure to perform at high level, and expectations of you will increase. These challenges will force you to reevaluate your professional goals and focus on what truly matters for you. It could be a period of professional restructuring where you let go of jobs, projects that are no longer aligned with your values. So maybe you will find a new path. But you need to have a long-term strategy and to have patience and perseverance. Even though Saturn may bring a sense of restriction or challenges, this transit is an opportunity to build something lasting and learn what long-term success means for you. It's time to set clear strategies for your professional future. Be prepared to work hard and stay consistent in the face of challenges. Saturn in the 10th house will remind you of the importance of integrity and authority in your career. It's not enough just to be ambitious. You need to build your success on solid foundations aligned with your principles. This is a period where you learn that true value doesn't just come from external achievements, but also from self-respect and respect for others. So this period will teach you the lesson of patience and hard work, or maybe efficient work. You will understand that success doesn't come overnight. But if you remain focused and dedicated to your goals, Saturn will reward you with stability and concrete achievements on the long term. For those with Leo rising, this transit will activate the 9th house, the house of travel, higher education, and philosophy of life. It's time to expand your vision of the world, but also to take on important life lessons that will shape your future. Saturn asks you to be more serious and responsible when it comes to your education and personal growth. Saturn in the 9th house will help you to clarify your long-term goals and test your core beliefs. This transit may bring restrictions or challenges in the educational field or in your travels. You may need to adjust your expectations or make a more serious commitment to your studies. You might feel the need to relearn fundamental things or reorient yourself towards new directions in your career or spirituality. For Leos who love to travel, Saturn in the ninth house will transform how you perceive the world. This is a period where you learn to travel not just physically, but also mentally and spiritually. Your travels will become deeper, more meaningful, and will help you truly understand your purpose on this planet. Saturn will bring an emphasis on lasting learning, acquiring fundamental knowledge. This could be a time of maturity in your approach to education and personal values. You will feel the need to restructure your belief system and focus on what truly matters. It could be the time to take advanced courses or enrich your knowledge through serious studies. This transit will help you free yourself from unrealistic ideals and build a clearer, more practical vision of the world. Will bring more stability to your life philosophy and the way you relate to different cultures and systems of thoughts. This is a period where you will learn what it means to follow your path with patience, determination, and clear vision. Saturn will teach you important lessons about trusting your journey and how to ground your dreams on a solid and practical foundation. For those with Virgo rising, this transit will activate your 8th house, the house of deep transformations, shared resources, and intimacy. This is a period of intense regeneration during which Saturn will ask you to take responsibility for what lies beyond the surface, both in your relationships and in the way you manage your financial and emotional resources. Saturn in the 8th house will encourage you to be more disciplined about money and the resources you share with others. It's time to clarify your financial strategies and focus on long-term savings or investments. This transit may bring situations where you will need to adjust your financial relationships with partners, institutions, or even inheritances. The 8th house is also the house of rebirth, and Saturn will deepen your processes of self-analysis and introspection. You will go through intense inner transformations that will force you to let go of old thoughts, patterns, or behaviors. This could be a period of profound healing where you will learn what it means to reclaim your inner strength and free yourself from fears or traumas from the past. Saturn will challenge you to be more serious and responsible in intimate relationships and in how you build deep connections with others. This transit may bring lessons about trust, healthy boundaries in your relationships, and how to share your vulnerabilities. You'll learn what it means to have an authentic relationship based on mutual respect and commitment. Saturn in the 8th house will teach you about control and release. You may face situations where you need to learn to manage others' resources or accept major changes in the structure of your life. These lessons are not easy, but they will offer you a strength you didn't know you had. Saturn will help you build a solid foundation for your financial and emotional future. This is the time to learn what responsibility in the face of change means and to strengthen your inner power, preparing for new beginnings in your life. For those with Libra rising, this transit will activate your 7th house, the house of relationships and partnerships. This is time to reevaluate how you build meaningful connections and take responsibility to the partners in your life. Saturn challenges you to be more serious and mature about your relationships, asking you to learn fundamental lessons about balance, compromise, and commitment. Saturn in the 7th house can bring a period of test in your relationships. This could be both professional and personal, and the transit will help you clarify what truly constitutes a healthy partnership. You may encounter difficulties or restrictions in your relationships, But these challenges are meant to help you build stronger bonds based on mutual respect and trust. Saturn encourages you to take on serious commitments and dedicate yourself to those with whom you share a deep connection. You may feel the pressure to make important decisions regarding your partnerships. Whether in romantic relationships, business, or friendships, this transit will require you to focus on stability and create a strong foundation for the future. Now is the time to truly understand what you want from your relationships. Saturn will give you the opportunity to tidy up your social life and partnerships. You will learn lessons about balancing the I and the we, and you will seek solutions to create relationships based on mutual respect and support. Saturn in the seventh house offers you the chance to strengthen the important relationships in your life. You may need to make some sacrifices to reach a point of understanding and harmony with those around you, but this will help you build more lasting and authentic connections. Saturn's lessons are about maturation and stability. You will no longer tolerate superficial relationships and will seek connections that help you grow. So this is time to build long-term partnerships based on solid values and trust. Saturn teaches you that true relationships are not just about chemistry, but also about dedication and consistent effort. It's time to take an active role in building the relationships you truly desire. For those with Scorpio rising, this transit will activate your sixth house, the house of work, health, and daily routines. It's time to revise your approach to work, take responsibility to your health, and organize your daily life in a more structured and efficient way. Saturn teaches you that true discipline means in every aspect of your life. Saturn will bring important lessons related to your work and how you manage your time. There may be increased pressure in professional activities or daily tasks, and Saturn will teach you to be more serious and dedicated to achieving your goals. You might feel that your work is more demanding, but this transit will help you build a solid foundation for long-term success. This is a period when Saturn will encourage you to make profound changes in your lifestyle, especially concerning your health and daily habits. It may be an ideal time to adopt a physical exercise routine or a healthier diet. The transit will bring the need to better manage your energy and resources, ensuring that you protect both your physical and mental health. Now it's time to learn what true discipline is. It means Saturn in the sixth house will require you to be consistent and responsible every day, whether it's improving performance at work or maintaining a healthy routine. This transit will show you that success comes through constant effort and commitment. So this transit, it's about perfecting your daily routine and bringing more efficiency into everything you do. You may need to structure your time better and let go of behaviors that no longer serve your goal. Saturn will give you lessons in organization, handling responsibilities, and focusing on your long-term objective. It's time to create a more balanced and structured lifestyle. Saturn will teach you that real success comes when you invest your energy in a balanced and disciplined way, both in your career and in your health. It's time to build a foundation for a healthy and prosperous future. For those with Sagittarius rising, this transit will activate your fifth house. It's the house of self-expression, love, and creativity. It's time when Saturn challenges you to be more responsible in how you live out your passions and in your romantic relationships. Discipline and seriousness are required in investing in what truly brings you joy and personal fulfillment. Saturn will bring a period of maturation in your love life. If you are in a relationship, now is the time to commit seriously and build a connection based on respect and stability. If you are single, this transit may bring the opportunity to meet someone with whom you can build a long-term relationship, but only if you are ready to invest time and effort. This transit will bring a level of maturity to your creative endeavors. You may feel inspired to turn your passions into a concrete project and bring more structure to how you express your creativity. Now it's time to follow your artistic calling, but with much more discipline and determination than before. While Saturn challenges you to focus on the serious aspects of life, we must not forget the importance of fun and play. This transit will teach you how to find balance between work and play, reminding you that true joy comes when you take responsibility for yourself and others. Saturn will help you build a solid foundation in all things related to creativity and love, and in relationship with your children. You may be tempted to isolate yourself and focus only on the practical aspects of life, but Saturn encourages you to find a way to combine the serious approach with passion and joy. Be prepared to make long-term investments in your relationships and projects that bring you personal fulfillment. So it's time to define your vision of love and passion, but also to commit to building a future based on stability. Saturn will show you that true happiness comes when you embrace your passions with a serious and responsible attitude. For those with Capricorn rising, this transit will activate your fourth house, the house of roots, family, and domestic stability and private life. This is an important time to build or rebuild your personal foundation, focusing on the place where you feel at home. Saturn will ask you to take more responsibility in managing your family relationships and to establish a solid base for your future. This transit may bring important lessons about how you relate to your past and family. It could be a time for strengthening bonds with loved ones or even transforming your home. You might feel pressure to make changes in your home environment, and this transit will encourage you to create a space that reflects who you are now and who you want to become. Saturn may bring also tensions or unresolved conflicts from your family past. It may be time to face difficult lessons related to emotional roots and take responsibility to resolving older conflicts. While challenges may arise, this transit will help you strengthen family bonds through maturity and understanding. Saturn in the fourth house will push you to lay the groundwork for a stable future, especially concerning your home and family life. It might be the time to set long-term goals related to your residence, savings, or personal life plans. Saturn will teach you that emotional and financial stability are essential to build a solid future. Also, this transit will help you to find your roots and strengthen your personal foundation. Saturn will challenge you to self-reflect and realize that from your past can be transformed to offer you a stronger foundation to the future. It's time to build a home that truly reflects who you are. Saturn will show you that true stability comes when you build solid, healthy roots that will support you throughout your life. For those with Aquarius rising, this transit will activate your third house, the house of communication, education, short trips, and relationships with siblings and neighbors. Saturn brings important lessons about how you structure your thinking and how you express yourself. This is a time to take responsibility to your words, the way you learn, and your relationships with those around you. Saturn will encourage you to improve your learning methods and adopt a more disciplined approach to your educational process. It may be an excellent time to specialize in a field, deepen your knowledge, or learn a new skill. If you have learning or writing projects, Saturn will help you approach them with patience and focus. It's time to reassess your communication style. Saturn in the third house will ask you to be more responsible with your words, clearer and more punctual in expressing your ideas. You may feel a pressure to be understood and make a significant impact in your discussions. Avoid getting lost in unnecessary details and focus on what truly matters. So this transit may bring challenges in your relationships with siblings, neighbors, or even your immediate environment. You may need to resolve older conflicts or take on a more responsible role in the community. Saturn will teach you what it means to build solid, long-term relationships based on trust and responsibility. It's time to structure your thinking and clarify your life direction. This transit helps you to find answers to the questions that are troubling you, clear your mind, and take responsibility to the knowledge that shapes you. It's time to self-reflection, where you can build a clearer vision of your intellectual and professional future. Also, it's time to reassess how you express yourself and improve your understanding of the world. Saturn will teach you that success in communication and learning comes when you are disciplined and mindful of every word you speak and every lesson you learn. For those with Pisces rising, this transit will activate your second house. It's the house of personal resources, money, core values, and self-worth. This is time when Saturn will ask you to take a more responsible and disciplined approach to your finances and resources that truly matters to you. Saturn will bring clear lessons on how to manage your money and material resources. You may feel pressure to bring order to your spending and savings. You need to have a budget, as well as to build a solid foundation for your financial future. It's time to be more pragmatic and more long-term financial decisions, even if it involves short-term sacrifice. Financial education is very important, so maybe you will deal with it. Saturn challenges you to ask yourself what values are truly important for you. It may be time to reevaluate your goals and priorities, and this self-reflection process will help you build a life based on solid principles. What do you really want from life? And how do you allocate your resources to get there? Saturn will show you that true security comes from within, not from accumulating material possessions. But this doesn't mean that they are not important. This transit will encourage you to build a solid foundation of personal security. It may be the right time to focus on creating long-term wealth or to establish a well-structured financial plan. Saturn will teach you that financial stability doesn't come overnight, but with discipline and planning, you will get to where you want to be. As Saturn challenges your relationship with your resources, you will learn that true personal growth comes from responsibility. Now it's time to invest in yourself and your future, but with a pragmatic and realistic vision. It may be a period where you learn to be more self-sufficient and to appreciate your own resources more. So Saturn will help you to transform your relationship with money and values, and the results will come over the long term. Be prepared to make responsible choices that bring you closer to the independence and stability you desire. Of course, this transit will help you to use your time more efficient and to analyze your value on the market. So now look, where do you have Aries in your natal chart? Which house? If you have some other planets there. And see how Saturn is connecting with these planets and with the rest of the chart. And also don't forget that also we have already Neptune in Aries there. So I'm waiting your answers and questions down below. Until next time, I wish you all the best. Bye bye.